In this session, we'll be exploring ninja stance and all of its variations. So to start off with, you'll obviously have your SoleMate set up like this, essentially in tandem but perpendicular, so that you can set yourself up like so. Now, from here, it's actually good just to get used to the feeling of the balls of your feet on the SoleMate like that. And you're just walking side to side like so. You might get a little bit of a calf stretch while you're doing this. It's kind of like a nice way to warm up. And then you could do the same thing with your heels. Again, this might not feel like much, but literally just explore what that feels like on your heels. For some it might feel good, for some it might feel a bit intense. Just take note of that. And then the other one, so that was just basic ninja. This is building us up towards heel ninja, and then we've got arch ninja, which is, as it sounds, ninja stance, but in the arch of your foot. So that will, for most people, that will probably feel like the most intense pressure because you're getting into the muscles in the arch of the foot. And it will often actually feel like the hardest balance challenge because your weight distribution is all off and it's just going straight through the arch of your feet. So just be kind to yourself with that. And if you need to like hold on to something, that goes for all of these ninja stances actually. If you need to hold on to a wall or a chair at first, that can be really helpful because it is kind of weirdly tough to balance in all of these stances. So that's like a good little warm up for your ninja exploration. And then we're gonna start just hovering our heels off the ground, and I'll show you from the side like so from now on. So you're hovering your heels off, the balls of your feet are on the top, and then the toes are kind of curling over like that. And you can almost grip a little bit with your toes. So a little hover, you might find that you're doing a bit of this where your heels are bouncing down. That's fine. If you just can't hover for more than a few seconds, that's definitely where you want to grab something like a wall or a chair to help you at first. And then same thing, you're walking down the SoleMate while your feet or heels are hovering off the ground. Going side to side. And then the arch ninja part is pretty much the same because neither your front or the back of your feet are really touching, but just do your best to balance with that one. A few step offs is completely normal. And then same with heel ninja, trying to keep your toes off the ground while moving along. So like I said, notoriously tough to balance, but a really great way to activate all of these muscles through your feet and ankles. With that heel ninja, you may just want to start with doing little swaps like this. So starting with 1 foot up, 1 foot down, swapping, swapping. So you could start with 1 foot is always, pretty much always on the ground, and then you could try and swap slower so that you're spending some time with both feet in the air, but with like a controlled pause in between. And then you just make that slower and slower until you're able to maintain balance. You'll notice you're doing a lot of sort of hips forward and back to balance because that's really the only strategy you've got in these positions. So that is a little bit to get used to. Just take it very gradually and build up. So back to basic ninja, normal ninja. balancing like so. And then you're going to start going for a ninja squat. So that's just where you are slowly squatting down as far as you can. If you can get down onto your heels, that's perfect. You can try and hover here for a bit and then stand back up. Hold here for a bit. Back down. Try and stay as steady as you can in the one position. Your arms tend to help. But if you want more challenge, you go arms behind your back. And then it'll just be all about your feet and hips. Another variation you can try here is a ninja hinge. So that would be, rather than squatting down using your knees, you're actually hinging back. So arms reaching out can really help with this to counterbalance. You're actually hinging back to load up the hips and then standing back up. Hinge, reach, stand back up. Hinge, stand back up. You could do the same thing in Arch Ninja. If the Arch Ninja is a bit too sort of sensitive for your feet at the moment, that's fine. Just come back to it, or just leave these harder variations and just, gently build up to it. But if you're feeling up to it, same thing, squatting and hinging. And then, of course, you can do all the same things in Heel Ninja. Squatting. This gets really challenging, by the way, so just go easy on yourself. If you have to squat down, a couple of centimeters like this and stand back up, that's fine. Gradually, you can try and work your way further down. And then you could go for Heel Ninja hinges, where you're just pushing those hips back. It's quite a fluid thing. You're not really aiming for like a perfect movement as such. You're just sort of using the movement as a way to challenge your balance further and then to reactively stabilize in that new position. So it doesn't matter if you get into a perfect hinge or not, really. It's more about the intention of pushing those hips back and then standing back up. And you'll start to notice with all of these, your leg muscles working. So with the Heel Ninja, you're working a lot of that front of your shin. With the normal ninja, basic ninja, you're working a lot of the calves and the feet. So now's probably a good time to have a rest if you aren't ready for that already. But you might want to come back to those another day when you're fresh and just explore them freely. Try not to get too frustrated. Use the wall for balance as much as you need to, or a chair, and just gradually use less and less assistance with your hands. Over time, your feet will adapt, your nervous system will adapt, you will get better, and it will become more fun. So enjoy all of that, and we'll see you in the next session.